What's going on, everybody? We're coming back to another war video. This is the third war of the season, and who do we get matched up with?
Masked Legends Alliance.
I was shocked when I saw this, and I was a little... I was feeling good about the war, honestly. I was thinking, well, my alliance has, better this, better that, so we're going to have a good time. And honestly, these fights were not that bad. I had a really good time with these fights. The only mistake I made was the first fight here with Venom, with Killmonger. In my head, I was thinking, this armor break's going to remove his reverberation and stuff. I'm going to be able to get, a lot of bleeds, everything. Won't have to worry about the reverb with the armor break. Just got to keep the armor break up. And I kind of just forgot about the calcify, that it reduces the potency of regeneration and power gain. So I had, Scorpion along with me for one of the mini-boss fights later on. And every time I got a buff, I believe, I got a power gain buff to match. So that calcify was actually draining my power, unfortunately, every time he threw a special. And the more specials he threw, it made it worse. As you can see here, next time I get a buff, my power just goes to the absolute, bottom of the barrel. So this fight was not going super well in the start, and I was actually really worried. And then kind of here, I almost gave up. But then I was like, well, I should probably still go back in for something. And then he parried me, he got the unstoppable, and killed me right away, which is tough. That was also Hela, if you guys know him from my streams and stuff. That was Hela's Killmonger, I believe. So, touche, Hela, touche. You got me in war. So now I was physically and mentally pissed about this. I was like, there's no way I just died to Killmonger with Venom. So I was like, alright, I'm just going to send it with Moondragon, see if I can do something here. And I kind of forgot that he gains all that power, so I got really lucky. I was at 2 bars of power here, and I was able to throw that SP2. But then again, Moondragon cleans it up, reverse controls, Calcify gets purified, we're all good. So, next fight, I believe, is a...
Penny Parker, which is actually Masked Legends Penny Parker, who is rank 3. 7-star rank 3 Penny Parker.
That's why I brought in Venom for this. It was primarily for Penny, and I was like, well, he can do the Killmonger fight. I was obviously wrong with that. But this fight goes super well, I believe. I don't think I die here. With my newest rank 3 in Venom. I'm really liking him. Shout out to KTT for inspiring me to rank 3 him. There's been others, but he's the main one that's inspired me for it. So this fight was a tad bit tricky with her heal block, because I was constantly getting... not willpower, but I think it was just the just getting over a bar of power, so it's heal blocking me, and then the suppression comes up. I'm starting to heal, and then the heal block reverses my healing and stuff. But I mean, other than this, like not taking any power burn damage, dodging everything, only taking a bit of damage from the heal block. Auto block got me there a little bit, but I was able to take down the shield. Unfortunately, I have that glancing that's unsteady buff up, but I'm critting a lot here. Throw my SP1. I probably should have went for an SP2, but I wanted to play it like super duper safe. And we finish with punishing the special, and Penny is down. That was a really quick fight. I was not expecting Penny to go down that fast, but that's what you get when you rank 3 Venom. He's very strong, and he doesn't care about anybody. He just rips through them, makes them bleed. It's beautiful. So, moving on to Section 2, I've got a wolf on node, I don't know what node it is, looks like 22, maybe? Never seen a wolf here before. This honestly didn't scare me too much. I was planning on using Moondragon here, but I wanted to make sure she had enough health for the upcoming dust on the next fight. So I decided to go with Scorpion. I could just change my my mode to shock, and that way I wouldn't have to worry about my poison expiring or getting ruptured. And I missed my first light attack off the rip, so that already infuriated me. Nicely enough, Venom and Scorp has a synergy where Scorpion gets a like 10% Fury passive every time he puts a Sting debuff on. So Scorpion's damage is pretty nice in this entire fight. And I normally don't play Scorpion with the Torments. I kind of just play him with the specials and just forget about the Torments, because I don't want to get like hit or something while I'm charging my heavy. But honestly, that went really well. I got a pretty solid amount of stings up, get my sharks going. I think I do bait out an SP2 and then go for a SP2 myself here. I was getting a little nervous and I pulled the trigger on the SP2 too early, but luckily I was able to not get punished for it or have him block the special. So Scorpion worked for that fight really well. I miss using Scorpion. I used to use him a lot in Act 7, Act 8 when he was like one of my top 6 stars, and I really hope I can find that spark with him again, because I do enjoy using him. He's very fun. So this war was really tricky in the sense of like planning, because I didn't know who I was going to bring, because I had to deal with Penny, had to deal with Killmonger, had to deal with the Gladiator that I was assigned to on War, or on Node 44, I believe. And I was just like, who am I going to bring for this dust? And I settled for Moondragon because I knew she could purify the heal block. She wouldn't take a lot of damage from the power sting. So I just, I was like, I gotta use Moondragon here. So starting off strong. Haven't got hit yet. 10 hits in the combo, but we're at already at Transcendence already. I bait this out, get the dex, back up. Forget I'm unblockable. So luckily I was unblockable. I get the SP2 off. Not a lot of damage, but I don't have a lot of energy vulnerability, so it makes sense. So right now I'm just trying to get my Transcendence up at the moment, going for those intercepts. Dust is really difficult to get intercepts with. Launched another SP2. Does a pretty solid chunk of damage. Power Sting is honestly not worrying me much. I get rid of the Power Sting. I combo into her again. I'm going for a large heavy here. I've done it before where I've gotten almost 140k heavy attacks with Moondragon, so if you ever just see me randomly heavy with her, it's because I'm going for that big crit damage and it possibly will kill them. Unfortunately, I don't crit either of these heavy attacks, but she still gets the fight done. Don't die. So it basically would have been a deathless war if I used my brain against Killmonger, but it happens. So now we go up to the mini boss Gladiator. He's got a Hazard Shift, Poison, Rupture, and Stun Immune. This fight, honestly, with Gladiator doesn't seem horrible at all. Seems actually really easy. Just pop a shock on Scorp and play it normal, just like you can't parry. That's all there is to it. Try to go for SP2s so you don't have to deal with his Unstoppable. And that's about it. I mean, this fight isn't too bad. I do regret not playing it better, because I did forget that he was a tactic defender. So every time he threw that special 2, he'd get unblockable, and I would, for some reason, forget every fucking time. But we're healing from his willpower and stuff, which is good. We get the full dex on his SP2 right here, which I get that a lot, to be honest. And one of these times I'm going to forget that he's unblockable. I forget if it's this. It must be one of the next 2. I was hoping he wouldn't throw that. I was just blocking. I don't know why he threw that. And then I went for a parry. I'm so used to Alliance Quest having Unstoppable that I just need to parry my way through the Unstoppable. And we reach ourselves to another SP2. Only 5 sting debuffs. Not horrible, but we got that 50% extra attack rating from the passives. Go for another SP2 dex. We get it. And look at the healing. 127 per tick. It may not seem like a lot, but it's every time he gets a willpower healing, I believe. And it's pretty nasty, not gonna lie. I threw an SP1 here because I'm thinking maybe I can block, but I forget if I can block with the taunt. So I don't even try. Especially because I just got Cold Snap that I don't want to end the fight too soon. He combos me here. Got that Cold Snap damage up. Just trying to get myself to an SP2, or get him to an SP2. Throws another SP1, which is really unfortunate. I get hit again because I'm not paying attention to the Unstoppable, ironically. And then nearing the end of the fight, I throw this Relic. I combo fully. 3 stings. And 6% left. All I gotta do is bait the special out, combo him, and he's dead. Taking a while to bait the special. Get the full dex again. And there we go. Mini boss, Node 44, done. No death. So the only death this war for me was that first Node 4 Killmonger, that Calcify. Probably should have just kept with Moondragon like I was planning to do. but it's okay. It happens. So that's the war, guys. Looking at it right there, we didn't look too bad, but unfortunately we did lose to Mass Legend and his alliance. I'm upset, but it doesn't surprise me. Mass Legend has a really strong alliance, including himself, because he's a very strong player. So congrats to Mass Titans. I hope to see you guys possibly next season for a rematch. That was the normal generic stuff, and this is how they beat us with all the defender kills and the fight duration with less time. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope to see you guys in the next war video or stream. Appreciate you being here. Peace out, y'all.